Hi, I'm Cash, and welcome to Cash Talks Football, where I break down all the goals scored in the Premier League. Using my over 20 plus years coaching experience, coaching all over the world, I give you different insights. Maybe you want to become a better coach or a better player, or learn something different than the Muppets on TV aren't telling you, because they really don't have a clue. Right now we're looking at Chelsea against Wolves, and I've got a lot to say about Chelsea. I'm shocked that Pochettino's still there. If this was like goodness, this Abramovich's era, he'd already been gone. But I think since Abramovich's gone, Chelsea's gone back to the club it used to be. Was it pre-2003, 4 he took over, something like that? Where they might get a good cup run, but other than that, they're never going to challenge unless they do a lot of work and a lot of overhaul work. Like if Pochettino, if this was happening in United or Arsenal or Liverpool, he'd be gone. He'd be absolutely gone. You can't spend this amount of money on a squad. And I'm going to call out some of these players as well, because I think a lot of what's happened as well, some of these players had choices to go to all sorts of certain places, and they didn't. They chose to come to Chelsea for the extra money. And I think they've realised they've made the wrong choice and they're stuck there for 8 years on their contract. And they're not going to be sold because they can't afford to sell them, because the way that they've structured the deal, they won't get any money back on FFP. So that's why they're selling their homegrown players like Mason Mount, etc. But any of the new guys they've bought in, they can't resell on, because of the way that they've structured the deals, they keep losing only 20 million a year instead of outlaying 100 million. So that's how they're being able to overrun all this FFP stuff. So they can't sell them because they're not going to get the return on the investment, because otherwise they get screwed on the FFP. So it's a complete disaster what they've set themselves up for. Now, if all those players turned out to be successful, they look like brilliant, they did brilliant stuff, but they haven't. But anyway, let's get on to this first goal. So as we can see this little wee striker here, and if you're a would-be striker and you spot this little gap like this is what you're looking for to receive the ball from your central midfielder from. Bang, in it goes. That means someone has to come over and cover for you. He didn't go. No one really covers for him, but what you've ended up doing is creating in this hole lots of things. Like if he was a decent striker right now with this extra space, he would turn, go and have a go at goal, but he's not. So he's laying the ball off. He's done a pretty poor job of doing it. But now, does he make his spin run? Does he get his run right? So if you're a good striker, he's getting a run in here. The ball's coming straight back and he's finishing. That would be perfect. Does he? No, he runs into the player, checks it, but he does not run into the space, which is good. You might go, oh, but Cash, why? Because you see this guy starts to run. He sees him, because that's where he's looking. He sees this guy's running into the space. So he goes, oh, okay, I'll leave it now. Somebody else is going to utilise the space. What you see a lot of bad players doing is carrying on that run anyway with no visual awareness of the rest of their teammates, and they both end up there and they both get in each other's way and nothing ends up happening. But Bosch, ball goes off. Nice ball in behind, let's be fair. Quality ball. Little strike. Taps it in past the keeper. Honestly, the keeper should probably do a little bit better because it's on that near post. I can't stand it when you're this far out, right? So he's past the 6-yard box when he's taking the strike and the ball's going in. If you ever know anything about the funnel, he's just inside the funnel, and that's terrible if he's scoring right there. You shouldn't be happy with that at all if you're a goalkeeper. If you don't know about the scoring funnel, keep a listen out to when I break that down in videos. I might start doing more coaching videos at the end of the season in between stuff, so you can actually look back and I can reference those and go, right, this is a coaching funnel video. This explains it. Go and have a look at that so you can understand it. And this is one of those players here, Caicedo, that I think just doesn't want to be at Chelsea anymore. And by the way, that's right now. If they win 3 games in a row, he might change his tune and might look like the player he was last year. But right now, he just doesn't look like he wants to be playing football. And the reason why you can see this is because when certain things are going wrong, maybe you're a little bit unfit or stuff like that, your first touch starts to go. It's always the first thing that starts to go, especially in your concentration levels. And I want you to watch this. Watch what happens here. Ball comes in, dunk. That's not good enough. You go, but Cash, he looks really good to me. No, it's not good enough. Not in his position. He knows better than that. But there's more to it than that. He gets tackled on the ball here. But let's look at his desire and determination to win the ball back. Because if this is last year and he loses the ball here, he's fouling the player and getting a yellow card. And he's not letting anyone get in behind him. He's not having it. Right, now watch this though. Bonk gets another little tackle. Bounces up again. But let's watch the desire now. As it goes, he's casual. Absolutely casual. As we do the run, 1, 2, 3, casually running, and then what he tries to do is foul the player on the way, down here a little bit further. Here we are, this is him, he's fouling the player a little bit further on, he's putting his arms around him and pulling him back, which he probably should have been doing 20 yards back here, but the guy gets the pass off anyway, and he's in the dangerous area at this. Of course, he gets his pass off, but also you can just look at Caicedo's attitude. It's just not there. It's slowly, joggy. No sort of enthusiasm or desire to really care about getting the ball back, which he would he had last year. Now, when this strike comes in, this is just going up to surmise Chelsea's luck. So when you're down on your luck in football, it just keeps coming on. So this isn't a good strike, but it takes a deflection, beats the keeper, and goes inside the near post. It just seems when it rains, it pours in football, and that's the way it happens. Chilwell's getting beat out here on the left again. They were doing, Wolves were doing quite a lot of this to United the other day when I was watching them, and United managed to beat them. And a lot of it was they were defending their crosses properly when their ball was coming in. And today when the balls are coming, let's just look at the cross coming in. You've got one target to hit and a runner. So he plays the ball across, just kind of hoping, to be honest, strikes it, hits the striker. I don't think he gets a good purchase on it. He might call it a finish, but I don't think he is. I'm not going to use that. Hits the other defender, wrong foots the keeper now on the other side. Similar situation, but that's 2 deflected goals. And here's the sad part. His head's gone down, just like Thiago Silva's head went down. Exactly the same, but on the opposite side. Yeah, 2 deflected goals. That's just shocking luck for Chelsea. But as I say, again, when you're on the canvas, football has a funny way of just keep hitting you. Similar break as the last one. Well, the last one they were passed around Chilwell. This one's just pace and power down that far side there. I don't think it's Chilwell this time. It's somebody else. I think he's in the middle. But as this ball's come on across, you can see that these 3 guys have got a bit of desire. Not much running back really for Chelsea, but they're getting caught on the transition again. What does that really mean? That means you had no pressure on the ball for it to get there in the first place through the midfield. They either bypassed your midfield by playing the ball over you or played it through you because there wasn't enough pressure on the ball. And here's the other important part. Why are you saying that, Cash? Well, because if there is pressure on the ball and you're slowly dropping, right, and you're slowly dropping back, you can't be caught with all this space in behind you like these defenders are. Because these defenders are all running back, that means they were all forward, obviously. But if they're all forward, that means they're bringing enough players to have enough pressure on the ball. Otherwise, when you start losing possession, you start dropping off and you don't get caught in transition like this. And you shouldn't be stuck in foot races. And that's what good teams do. They're already dropping off on that transition before anything's slightly happening and not caught in a mad foot race. This is a mad foot race. Ball comes across the box. Rubbish, Cash, you are fake news. The ball gets cut back and he just tapped it in. Again, I think the keeper could have done with something with that. Like, if he just stood up, it might just hit him in the face. But again, it might have taken another little deflection off this defender here. It's just awful from Chelsea. You can just see that the wind has been sucked out of their sails, and they're just going to have a hard season, a really hard season for the rest of the year. Again, they're getting done on the outside. This time it's the right-hand side. This is the one that leads up to the penalty. That's why I'm not showing you much of the build-up play, because it's all about this individual challenge right here. As he's coming along, Dosh is going to ground from behind there. Well, here's the other point, right? He can't come over and cover for his teammate and shut the door, because this guy's too far back, and there's 2 guys sitting there in the middle waiting for the ball. It's just all overall just the shape and system for Chelsea seems to be all over the place. Because I was singing their praises, I don't know, about 6 weeks ago, and I could say, right, I could really see that the way they were playing and their structure was building. Not anymore. Everything seems to be coming apart of that football club, and it always stops with a manager. Pochettino, in my opinion, he's got to go. Guy does the keeper with his eyes, sits it into the far side of the net box, and Wolves get another goal. Those of you that watched my channel before, you know it and I know it. If the keeper's gone too far forward on that front post, which he's perfectly allowed to do, he needs someone to cover that back stick for him. Remember, you start on the back post, you start on the line, and you come out and you defend the ball this way. That's your job. You wait. As soon as the ball's about here, you can judge the flight of it, whether or not you need to come out because your keeper has gone too far forward here because he wants to try to catch it on the front post. You've got to help him out here on the back post. Oh, look, what happens? Ball comes across, Bosch, flick, goes in on the back post. All you needed was one person there, like so many other times in the Premier League season so far. Just someone on that back post would have stopped the goal going in, but Chelsea got themselves more of a consolation prize. And it was Thiago Silva, and I like him as a player, so I'm kind of happy that he made up for his redemption of his sort of flick bounce goal that he ricochet, you could call it, and he got himself one back instead. Other than that, I'll see you next time on Cash Talks Football.